I'm very pleased to accept the presidency of this esteemed organization and would like to congratulate the American Youth Soccer Organization on their decision and assure you that I have already implemented changes to make this a better world soccer leader. It is a well-known fact that these precious little imps mostly play on atrocious playing surfaces. That's why I am very happy to announce a 74-stadium construction project with all labor being provided by the youngest siblings of our young athletes. Of course, compensation for labor will be 1 Kit Kat for every 85 hours worked. I'm also pleased to announce that Juarez, Mexico will be the site of our annual league championship tournament. This is only after a lengthy investigation clearing the city's cartels, officials, you almost got me, sir, of any corruption or wrongdoing. I would also like to announce our brand new television deal with the box score starts right now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Coward for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes in Milford, Connecticut. We are down one Danette because McWhat's-His-Face is at his daughter's preschool graduation. She has graduated with a 3.9, so state school, here she comes. All right, it was a huge show today, so let's get right to it. You had American Idol winner Nick Fradiani in the man cave today. Now, Fradiani, as it turns out, was a former roommate and band member, and of course, style clone to a backroom guy and Milford manservant, two-a-days. Now, Seton, how jealous is Toozers of Nick Fradiani?
Man, I gotta tell you, not a bit.
Not right now.
Not one bit. He was surprisingly cool with it because I kept all day today putting myself in Too's position, where on one side it was really great to have, like, imagine having one of your buddies come in here and be like, he just did this great thing, and like you get to like play together, you're ripping on each other, you know, like you could tell that they were total buds. Yeah. But then on the other side, there is like, you know, like that dude just won $1 million. That dude just signed a record contract with, like, he has the same manager as Taylor Swift. You know, I mean, that to think of the stratosphere that he's just been elevated to. I said kid, he's 29. Yeah. But, you know, I mean, it's like, it's kind of mind-blowing to think that just, you know, I don't know, 6, 10, 12 months ago, he was playing, you know, Jimmy's Crab Shack right up the road here, and now he's about to go on a, you know, 40-city tour.
And I'll give 2 Days credit. 2 Days somewhat downplayed how good of friends they were. He told us, he said, he goes, yeah, this guy's a friend of mine. He said it kind of casually, like someone I went to high school with that I kind of knew. That's kind of the feeling I got. Like, they knew of each other and maybe knew each other a little bit in high school. They lived together, for God's sakes, less than a year and a half ago. I mean, they played gigs together. Like, 2 Days kind of, and I'll give him credit, he downplayed how close they were. When they came in, I realized, you know, he wasn't BSing in any way, which is a smart move. If you overplay it and it's not as much, you're going to get crushed.
Well, Too's is pretty low-key.
He is.
You know, he's pretty, I mean, he downplays even like his like singing ability to a degree, you know, where it's just like, yeah, I go out there, yeah, I play a little bit, yeah, do a little bit. You know, we've thrown him to the wolves a couple of times, with this being one, all of a sudden, like, all right, go play with Darius Rucker. And he was able to sit right in and fill in, you know.
But I think the downplaying made today a home run. If he would have said for the past years, oh man, I could sing with anybody, this guy Nick, I used to, you know, run circles around him. He would have had to have crushed him even to keep even.
Right.
Instead, most people who watch his show on a daily basis, 2 Days been back there for 6 years, so maybe knew that he sang a little, and then he goes and hits a home run on air.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa.
Well, Fradiani and Toozers put their friendship to the test as they had the first ever singing competition in the Dan Patrick studios. It was Ameridan Idol, and Toozers on the mic first.
And they say she's in the class A team, stuck in her daydream, been this way since 18, but lately her face seems slowly sinking, wasting, crumbling like pastries. And they seem the worst things in life come free to us, cause we're just under the upper hand.
That was awesome. You know, we all knew that, you know, that
Dano, he sings a lot and all that, and he does different shows, and goes to Rhode Island and different parts of Connecticut and has performed and all that. But to see him on, the grand stage, so to speak, on national radio and TV in front of his friend, the 2015 American Idol champion, and just bang that out like that, he was smooth, and we were all very proud of him. I thought it was an awesome moment for him, and I'm glad Dan gave him the opportunity to go do that and have a little Ameridan Idol contest.
Well, when it was Fradiani's turn, he went ahead and gave it up to Tuz, and he said he was going to get Tuz on American Idol, which I think means he's going to give him a ride to the Providence Mall when there are tryouts. Now, Paulie, there's a theory out there that Tuzer's sort of orchestrated this whole thing so he could get on the Dan Patrick Show, get some more airtime. Is there any foul play out there?
I don't know if he's orchestrated this for years with his buddy at the one-bedroom apartment over in South Milford. Then God bless him. But first of all, I don't know if Nick has the power to get 2-a-days on American Idol. I think Nick is on a big wave right now. Yeah. And I know he's the current American Idol winner. But that being said, I talked to 2-a-days after the show today. I said, "Have you ever tried out for American Idol?" And when he told me no, I was a little surprised, because if I could sing it all and play it all, and I was young and decent looking, my God, I would try out for American Idol, because you never know. You could get lucky and even get just a little bit of exposure and up your rate even at the local pubs. Oh, yeah. Like if you get even on TV for 1 minute on American Idol, I'm sure you could charge whatever when you go play in New Haven, Connecticut. So I think he might try out for American Idol this time, and I really believe using the hook of this show and Nick Fradiani, former roommate, I think he has a good chance to be part of the audition process and maybe get some TV time, whether he makes it or not, from a producer standpoint.
Well, yeah, and a word of caution to all the karaoke bars out there in Milford: prepare for a large rush. Now, Fradiani is the new voice of FIFA's Women's World Cup, and given the recent news, Dan couldn't let Fradiani off the hook.
Who came up with the idea for the Women's World Cup song?
I don't know. That was I think the top three. The three of us had our singles, that we were gonna play, our coronation song, or whatever, and they wanted those songs to. At that point, we knew whoever won was gonna be that their song was gonna be kind of the anthem. But I don't know who did that, but it's pretty cool.
But when you're gonna write a song or perform a song, you have to get something that rhymes with FIFA and corruption, and that's not really easy, is it?
Yeah, I just was reading up about that yesterday. So is that more along the lines of the men's FIFA, or is it just the whole?
I think it's the governing body, FIFA. Right. Yeah, it's corrupt.
It's pretty corrupt.
Yeah, sleazy. And what do you rhyme with, like Sepp Blatter, the head of FIFA? These are challenges that not all musicians have here.
Yeah, there's a couple of interesting things there that you could see. One, while Nick didn't sing, you can tell in that clip that his voice is gone. Yeah. He's got no ability to sing whatsoever, he's sipping water, he's always, clearing his throat or whatever. Which is too bad that he wasn't able to sort of go at Tuz a little bit.
It seems like he definitely would have tried to.
He's definitely competitive.
Because you got to prove why he deserves to be.
It would be great to have him back in again.
Well, there's an interesting thing here, because I said, "Nick, come back in when you're feeling better," and he goes, "Yeah." Now, if you're 2-a-days, do you retire from the in-studio bass? Like, I've already done my part. I don't I take on new challenge.
Reigning champ. He's still in a no-lose situation.
You got to put the belt on the line.
Either he beats the guy from American Idol or loses to the guy from American Idol. Either way, you're okay, because he's Tuz. He's here doing the show. So it's a total win-win for him.
And Nick said on the air, we could hold him to it. He said, "I'll be back when my voice is better, and I will, we'll do another round when I can actually sing."
The other thing that was interesting in that clip is that you could tell he was just thrown into a machine that's already turning and going, and he's just sort of like, all right, I'm gonna hop on this ride here, where they've already got this marketing deal worked out with FIFA and the World Cup song and whatever. The song was already written for him.
Plug him in.
The song is already it's okay. Who's going to be the person who's gonna sing this song? Okay, you are. And then off you go, and he's just sort of on this ride of hey, so what about this?
He doesn't have any idea probably what is waiting for him.
The funniest line of the whole thing was, he said, I think he was 29 when the show started, which was just at the cutoff. He was a year older than Taylor Hicks, the guy who had gray hair.
The gray hair.
No, Taylor Hicks was 28 when he won.
Really? He looked like he was 4
He looked older than us.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right, well, congratulations again to Nick Fradiani. All that success that Ruben Studdard and, of course, Taylor Hicks had. Greatness awaits. Hey, the great one awaits after the break. If Wayne Gretzky were a truck, he'd probably be the Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. That's right. that's best in class towing torque and horsepower. Oh, it can climb a hill, haul a trailer, and even deliver hat tricks galore. Plus, it's the most fuel-efficient half-ton truck on the road. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram.
What is the feeling like, and how much different is it with a Game 7 as opposed to any other game?
You know, when you're playing in the moment, you don't really think about it. And the guys who play really well don't even worry about the fact that it is a Game 7, and if you don't play well, you're done. The guys who play well and the better players are the guys that say, this is something I dreamed about my whole life. I can't wait to get started, and I can't wait to get out there. And my goodness, the Rangers over the last 2 years, every Game 7, they seem to rise to the occasion. So you just think about going out there and having fun and enjoying it, and that's the way I looked at it.
Welcome back to the Box Score. We have a pair of Game 7s tonight and tomorrow to decide the final matchup in the Stanley Cup. Now, to get us ready, of course, Fritzy booked the great one, Wayne Gretzky. Paulie, he's the best to ever lace up the skates, but whose sports career would you take over his?
Over his?
Over his.
Not many. I mean, I guess you could maybe say Pele or someone like that because I like soccer a little more than hockey. But to be considered the best ever and there's not really a lot of argument when your name is brought up, that's nuts to me.
You know, like Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah, that's the icons.
Yeah,
you know?
but there's certain guys where you talk about them, there's no argument. It's just levels of how good or how great they were. But when I was thinking about it, when we have guys like Wayne Gretzky on, it's amongst my favorite things because to me it's like having Babe Ruth on. Like if Babe Ruth were still alive and we could interview him. Wayne Gretzky's Babe Ruth and he's still alive to talk to us. And in 40 years people will be talking about this guy and going, man, I wish I could have heard him or seen him. I got to see him. And I've got to talk to him. I've got to meet him. Yeah. And to me that's still the biggest thrill. And I listen to Wayne Gretzky like it's the first time. I used to live on the Upper West Side of New York City and Wayne Gretzky lived at 72nd or 78th Street. Something like that. My roommate and I one day, we saw Wayne Gretzky walking down the street. It was like 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. We're unemployed, man. I mean, really unemployed. So my buddy Mike and I, we see the great one walking down to go get it, and we're like, let's just follow Wayne Gretzky around today. Like, great idea. So we just walked at about a nice pace, about 50 yards behind him. He went into a smoothie shop. We went in behind him and watched what he ordered. And we said, well, on my kids, we were like, we'll have whatever the great one had. And we thought it was the funniest thing. And he kept on walking. He had no idea we were following around the city for the day. But it was a good day.
Yeah, and Paulie, I'm imagining that the great one would take no boost if offered those in a juice bar. All right, now, Gretzky's final team, the Rangers, are playing tonight. And Seton, you won tickets to go see that game after Dan drew your name out of a hat. Now, you tried to offer the tickets to your wife and then offered them to Paulie, and of course, ultimately gave them up to McLovin. Fritzy, you're wearing a jersey today. Do you feel extra left out now that he hasn't offered the tickets to you?
I actually don't, for a few reasons. Number one, I got an opportunity to go Game 5, which was cool. And unfortunately, they lost 2-0. And obviously, Game 7 is huge. But, we have plans tonight, and my brother's going to come over with my nephew, and my son is going to be with us, obviously. And the four of us are going to order up some food and watch the game. And I'm excited I'm genuinely excited for Paulie and McLovin. Yeah. They're going to have an awesome time. I was listening to them talk, and I could hear the enthusiasm in their voice about where they're going to meet up at a bar or whatever before the game. And it's Madison Square Garden. The winner of this game plays for the Cup against the Ducks or Blackhawks. It's going to be an incredible environment. And I told them to make sure they're in their seats by 8 or even a quarter to 8, because when the Rangers come skating out, they make everything dark and they do the whole little opening presentation. And here come the Rangers, and the fans are all waving their towels, and you're going to look around, and it's like sold out and screaming and mayhem. It's going to be awesome for them, and I'm looking forward to hearing the stories and the tweets over the next couple of days.
And of course, plenty of Nutrisystem snacks to get you through the game. Now, Seton, how is this going to affect your getting tickets from Dan in the future?
That's an interesting topic. I'm sure it's going to have a huge effect on it. Although I'm not sure. I mean, I don't usually get tickets for myself from anybody. It's usually a group thing. So I don't think I would ever be excluded from the group thing that we normally try to do. But yeah, Dan, you could tell that he wished that I just gave him these tickets so that now he didn't have to make an extra call to get the tickets for himself, which I don't think he'll have trouble getting tickets to the game tonight.
Right. You would think not.
I mean, you would think that if you can be like, hey, can I get tickets to tomorrow night? Sure. Yeah. Surely Dan can be like, hey, can I get tickets to tomorrow night? I would imagine.
He could call it if he wanted.
I don't know.
He used to call this game.
Right, yeah, he used to work it.
He called the Stanley Cup.
I think they'd put him right next to Pierre Maguire if he wanted to kind of code the glass thing.
But there's a couple angles here that I think are interesting. First of all, I'm a pretty simple guy. Whatever it takes you to get in the building, you do. I always think that in life, get in the building, like work, whatever. Seton says, do you want to go to the game? My answer was yes. Not maybe, or I got to talk with. I was like, I got to make sure I get one of these tickets. And then the other thing is, I think Seton set himself up for the NHL Finals. If the Rangers happen to win today, and I know this is a smart kid over here.
That's a big Rangers have to win.
I go tonight, McLovin goes tonight, Fritzy went the other day. If Dan goes tonight, it's even better for Seton. Or if Dan doesn't go tonight, that still works for Seton. Now, if the Rangers win tonight, Seton's got a couple home games coming up with the Rangers, with the Stanley Cup, maybe against the Blackhawks. Who didn't go to Game 7? This kid. So I think he's setting himself up for with a hopeful win tonight.
Got a lot of eggs in the Ranger basket to pull
that would be sweet. I have to be honest with you, though. I don't know that we can go back to the same people for tickets a fourth time now, and possibly a fifth time.
I'm not big on shame.
I don't know that we
are
able
employees.
To do that. I can tell you this: we are employees. I certainly don't have the weight to swing around to be like, hey, by the way, I'm going to need our 20th and 21st pair of tickets. I don't really know that I could swing that.
We know the great one.
All right, I hope for your sake, go Rangers, gentlemen. And Paulie, for every goal scored tonight, drink a beer for us. Coming up, even more hockey. Yes. Welcome back to the Box Score. What a hockey season it has been. And as the final draws near, it is impossible not to look back. At the beginning of the season, we've tested your knowledge on players hailing from the mythical land of Sweden. And now that the end is near, the final test has arrived. It is the season finale of IKEA furniture or Swedish hockey player. I will give you a name. You tell me if it is a current NHL player or an affordable banged-up end table at your brother's home. It is every man for himself since we are down one man. So starting with Paulie. Gersby, IKEA or NHL?
Gersby. There's no umlauts.
Jans Gersby.
Yeah.
He's a legendary defenseman.
Vlad Gersby. Gersby also sounds like a fantastic settee.
Could be like an end table.
Yeah, it could be. Gersby sounds like an IKEA collection, yes.
Yeah, some assembly acquired. It is a bookcase. Well done, sir.
Wow.
Sure. Thank you.
Well done.
A Gersby.
Fritzy.
A great Gersby.
Kronwall, IKEA or NHL? Kronwall.
Ooh.
Big stick on.
I'm going to say that is a piece of IKEA furniture as well. I don't know what it is exactly, but I'm going to go IKEA furniture.
Actually categorized as human, Niklas Kronwall of the Detroit Red Wings.
Niklas Kronwall.
Yes.
Thought I had that.
Seton, let's see if I can get this right. Yarncroc, NHL or IKEA?
Like a young crockpot.
Helmut Yarncroc.
Helmut Yarncroc. He was an enforcer.
There's an umlaut under the A, which almost always means IKEA.
You're right about that.
So it's like a set of dresser drawers or something.
Helmut Yarncroc. He won the Mrs. Campbell's trophy, whatever it was.
That's some kind of cameo.
I'm gonna go IKEA furniture.
You are incorrect, sir. It is Collie Yarncroc with the Nashville Predators, of course.
What? Damn it! A Yarncroc. Surely it's some type of kitchen item.
You would think that. Paulie, let's see if I can get this right. Fjardamon. Is that IKEA or NHL? Fjardamon.
That means granite countertops in IKEA. That's IKEA.
You better believe it. It's a pillow that looks like a smiling cloud.
That's what I meant.
Butcher block countertop.
We're getting destroyed right now.
Okay, Fritzy, again, let's see if we can get this. Beckvam, NHL or IKEA?
Beckvam. That's not a hockey player. I'm going to say that is in IKEA somewhere.
You better believe it, and you're going to need it tonight. It is a kitchen cart. You can wheel out all those delicious Nutrisystem snacks for everyone.
Ah, the Beckbaum. Great, well played.
And finally, Seton, Razcog, IKEA or NHL?
Oh, yeah, he's got it.
Gosh, that's either some type of shower curtain
or a penalty killer from Winnipeg.
Or I gotta go with the penalty killer.
Oh, you think so?
If you get the team right,
he's got to be an NHL player.
You get to go home early.
NHL, you say? I'm sorry, it is a utility cart. A utility cart.
Oh.
Oh, man.
I love this game, man.
And congratulations, the winner is Paulie. All right.
Well done.
Yeah, well done, sir. Don't go away. We're spelling out things for you here on the box score. How do you spell excellence? It's easy. It's RAM. The Ram Heavy Duty with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower. No bell needed, and you can pronounce that in any different language you want. Ram, Ram. God's glory, Ram.
Were there groupies with the spelling bee?
I don't know that I'd go so far to call them groupies, but yeah, I mean, they're definitely, when I was 9 that first time, my mom and I were in the Natural History Museum, one of the Smithsonian's in D.C., and this group of teenagers just kind of came running up to me, and the girls wanted me to sign their hands and purses. It was very scary because I was 9. If I was a little older, I would have taken advantage of it, but, a little too young to quite enjoy that. So
13-year-old girl.
Welcome back to the Box Score, closing up shop here at the Box Score Saloon. Fritzy, huge get today. 5-time National Spelling Bee finalist, Samir Patel. Now, Paulie, with the DP's hosting duties increasing every year. How would he do as a host, and what should be his first word asked to spell?
Well, I'll tell you something. Dan would be a fantastic host of the spelling bee because he would bring some life and some energy and some comedy into it because the people who broadcast that are bone dry.
He would make those little kids cry, though.
Oh, yeah, he'd make a couple kids cry.
Dan's got a little bit of a track record here of yelling at kids for no reason.
He will be one and done, but that will be the greatest bee in history.
Do you remember Jake saying, I was just trying
to give you a point.
I felt so bad.
Dan went after him like he was Sepp Blatter. I was just trying to make a thing.
First word he give, probably some type of Polynesian football player like, like Brandon Malamauna or something like that.
Malamauna.
Well, funny you should mention that because he gave Samir a hard time about not being able to spell Tuiasa Sopo. Seton, how about you help us out on this? Give us the correct spelling, please.
Oh, that's easy. Tueasoapopo.
Got the T right.
Yeah, that went downhill after the first letter.
Yeah, that's wrong. Hey, Fritzy, how about you? Let's look back to your childhood. Do you remember a spelling bee and how nervous you were?
I wasn't as nervous as you would think. I'm nervous about many, many things in my life, but and I've shared this story before, but humor me one more time. My proudest moment was one of my best friends, Jason, was right next to me, was down to 2 people for the 3rd grade spelling bee, and they asked him to spell Saturday, and he confidently, stuck out his chest and said Saturday, 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 and they said, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. We both looked at each other like, how could that possibly be wrong? And then all I could think of was in my head was, do you really need to say capital S? Because that's how you spell Saturday. So I said capital Saturday, and I won the spelling bee, and it was just a very proud moment. But I didn't tease my friends as much as I should have, but that's how I won the
Fritzy, I know I bang on you a lot, but this probably bothers me more than anything you've ever done in your life, to take that win. When I looked up, grammar is not included in the Scripps
exactly right. That's exactly
right.
That's a grammatical issue.
This is, how old were you when this happened?
3rd grade.
3rd grade, okay, 3rd grade.
10?
This is a bunch of adults.
No, like 8 or 9.
This is a bunch of adults trying to trick a kid with a trick spelling bee question that is off the books, off the rules. You should give that trophy back.
One of your proudest moments
is really only comes.
One of your proudest moments is really only because whoever that teacher was is actually a total a-hole.
A-hole.
What I should have said was
ASSHOLE.
No, that's capital A.
I probably should have said, we should do another round because that's kind of weak to win on caps.
What do you think about calling this young man? What's his name again?
It was Jason Honig.
What do you think about calling Jason Honig?
They were still good friends.
In retrospect, you did win, and I would like to relinquish any profits, trophies, whatever you want.
I should do that.
But will you?
I will not do that because of the way he spelled it.
How do you think you'd feel if you lost because of that?
I would be disappointed. I wouldn't want it that way. I wouldn't want him to hand it to me. It's like,
but
it's weak.
But he did. Yes or no? Just a yes or no. Did he spell Saturday correctly?
Yes.
Then why would you accept that?
But
win?
the judges felt like you have to say the capital S, and he didn't, and that's.
Did you say D-A-Y, period?
You should have said
the end, because it's the end of the thought.
It was really he had
Nonsense.
spelled much harder words leading up to that moment, and to be left with just me and my buddy.
You'll feel
better
better about yourself if you call him up and tell him he won.
I just saw him at a bar mitzvah
You'll sleep better?
months ago, and I teased him about it when I saw him. Wow. I'm like, remember Saturday and the capital S thing? That was kind of mean.
You were just there scouting his bar mitzvah just to make sure that he didn't have a video with a bunch of athletes in it. All right, please use next week's guest in a long, on-running sentence for us, please.
Shaquille O'Neal will be a guest on the Dan Patrick Show on Monday in the second hour. Hall of Famer.
You don't have to do anything different than what you usually do.
I guess I know. I'm trying to.
Yeah, you're like, really?
Hall of Famer to be NBA inside the NBA TNT analyst, four-time NBA champion.
Fella.
That's right. That's part of the reason.
How do you spell Shaquille?
Shaquille.
Wrong. Capital S.
Capital S.
Boom!
Wrong. All right, we are back next week right here on Audience Channel 239, 3 p.m. Eastern. Oh, and the podcast is available on iTunes or at podcast1.com. Go Rangers!
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy